Japan and the title game for the 2006 FIBA World Championship. A near-capacity crowd has gathered there as Spain takes on Greece for the gold. Both teams undefeated, and Spain will be playing without their superstar, Pau Gasol. He's out with a broken left foot. He suffered that late in the game against Argentina in the semifinals. The starting lineups covered by State Farm. For Spain, Garbajosa, Jimenez and Reyes up front, Navarro and Calderon in the backcourt. For Greece, Fotzis, Kakiosis are the forwards, Papadopoulos in the middle, Diamantidis at one guard, and Hatzivredes at the other. And with Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. Welcome to our coverage today as you see Pau Gasol on the bench.
Well, 21 points, 9 rebounds, but more importantly, Jim, the emotional leader, and in my opinion, so far the MVP of this entire tournament. That's how well Pau Gasol has played to this point.
And of course, Greece coming in after its upset over the United States in the semifinals. The biggest win ever for Greece in basketball competition, and they played outstanding to win that game.
Early on, Spain doubles in the post, man-to-man.
And Spain giving indications that even without Gasol, they're going to be very scrappy.
Well, you know that in a one-game situation, sometimes emotion can really take over, but for that to happen for Spain, guard play is crucial.
And Jimenez claims the rebound for Spain. Terry Moore of the United States, one of the officials working this game.
One of the best college officials in the NCAA, also a FIBA official.
So each team has had a possession. Spain and Greece have never medaled in the FIBA World Championship, and Spain really getting after it defensively, as Fran pointed out. As soon as the ball goes into the post, boy, they're double teaming, triple teaming.
2 good possessions, Jim. Of course, we know Giotis Giannakis, there's a travel, but what they do early in games, they like to go to the mismatch. So you see they've tried to go inside early to the big guy, Papadopoulos. Spain has double teamed. Already this has become a little bit of a chess match. You see how hard Papadopoulos is working inside with no Gasol in there to be a defensive presence for Spain.
Yeah, with if Pau Gasol were on the floor, they would be playing him straight up.
Yes, they would. Good pressure defense.
Remember, Greece struggled early against the United States, and there's a shot clock violation forced by Spain.
3 excellent defensive possessions, but now the key for Spain is they're going to have to get big-time scoring from Juan Carlos Navarro in the backcourt.
And here is Navarro. Oh, slips the pass beautifully to the cutter, Reyes.
Well, Reyes is a guy that missed the early part of this tournament.
There's a Pau t-shirt.
Yep. Reyes out with an injury, and all of a sudden he becomes an important factor for Spain. A blue-collar banger for Pepu Hernandez.
Greece came into this tournament ranked 8th in the world, and Spain 5th, and a 2-2 tie as Fotzis knocks it out.
Just remember this, Jim. Greece is a very deep team. Against Team USA, they got 55 points off the bench. This is not necessarily their best lineup that they start.
And now Greece with a chance at the lead.
Other than that pick and roll basket by Reyes, nothing in the paint for Spain so far. And you see they still work to get Papadopoulos the mismatch.
This time now they drop down in the double team.
See how hard those closeouts are.
And they goaltend. Actually, offensive basket interference wipes it out.
Very, very good pressure defense right now. No shot so far for Greece has gone uncontested by Spain.
And a foul called, so Spain will be on the line.
Calderon and Navarro between them only averaging 20 points a game. in this tournament because Gasol has been such a dominant figure, but both of them are capable of having big offensive outputs.
And that's where they have to look today without Pau Gasol.
Absolutely, and they need a big game from Garbajosa as well, who's shown his ability to score, but more from the perimeter as a big man.
Diamantidis picked up that foul for Greece, the first foul of the game. He's been the outstanding defensive player in the tournament.
Diamantidis, in my mind, with all the balance on this team, the most valuable player for Greece. Two-time EuroLeague Defender of the Year, affectionately known as the Octopus Man for his long reach.
And now Spain was picking up a little farther up the court that time, so they've done a little of everything defensively here in the early going, dropping back into the zone.
Now there's the big fella down low, doesn't jump very high, but one of the best low post players in Europe.
Papadopoulos putting Greece on top. 6.5 for the quarter. A wide open jumper. And it goes down.
Well, that's a big time lift.
Reyes.
Yep, Pepo Hernandez to get Reyes some opportunities early.
Turnover. Spain basketball.
Good pressure defense. Spain has, as you mentioned, Jim, mixed it up. This is what we've talked about. These coaches have a variety of defensive weapons in their arsenal. Both teams, zone man and a little bit of pressure.
Almost 4 minutes in and a 6-6 tie in the gold medal game. Now Garbajosa hangs the shot up, the ball loose to Greece, and Spain with a steal.
Another turnover.
That's a 3 if it goes. Spain really battling here in the early part of the game with, you know, without a guy who you can make an argument, Fran, in Pau Gasol. He could be MVP of this tournament.
Oh, I agree with you, and he still may end up being, regardless of what happens. Remember last year in the European Championships, Spain played without Gasol, so they're used to this. Doesn't make them a better team, obviously.
There you see the Greece results in the elimination round, and a personal foul called on Calderon.
Last year, Spain finished 4th in the European Championships without Gasol, and Juan Carlos Navarro was first team all-tournament. He had a big scoring output in that tournament. They'll need that today from him.
Foul was called on Reyes. His first.
See the mixing of the defenses, the zone.
Good recognition, though, as they dump off inside. Good defense from both ends of the court right now. Oh, beautifully done. Garbajosa.
Well, he'll be with the Toronto Raptors this year, one of 5 international players likely to be on that roster. Very experienced player, 29 years old, will be probably the oldest rookie in the league this year in the NBA.
Double teaming the post again. The shot clock down to 7. And it's a 3-point field goal, putting Greece in front.
This is where the chess match comes in. The great ball movement off of double teams in the post. Good closeout pressure, but not in time.
Akiusis on that 3 ball. And right at the rim again, Reyes scoring. Reyes off to a good start.
Hey, another team having trouble with pick and roll.
Yeah.
And we saw Germany in the earlier game against Lithuania, so it's not just Team USA.
Well, we talked about that at some length yesterday in the bronze medal game, that the screen and roll, you know, it's a basic play, but it's just very difficult to defend. A lot of elements come into play.
At every level, no question about it.
So Spain looking to extend on a 1-point lead, but an offensive foul call. And we go to a timeout early in the gold medal game.
lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us.
Back to our coverage of the gold medal game, Spain and Greece. Spain on top by 1. Spain playing without Pau Gasol. But Pau Gasol led them to this point, including that 1-point win over Argentina in the semifinals to get in. And that was the 10th straight win for Spain over Argentina head-to-head. And you know, Fran, there's an old saying that the more often you beat a team, the tougher it is to beat them again.
You are right, and especially because Spain has now won 17 straight this summer. And why that's important, Jim, is their soccer team won 22 in a row prior to the World Cup and didn't get it done.
That's a bailout heave on a 3. And the ball ends up back to Greece. By the way, there is a Gasol on the court right now. It is Pau's brother, Mark,
who is a potential second-round type pick. Continues to improve.
He's defending the ball out of bounds.
Mark Gasol actually played high school basketball in Memphis, Tennessee. When Pau was in his early stages of his Grizzly career, John Calipari, coach at University of Memphis, made a play for him. But
there's a guy that the U.S. saw a lot of in the semifinals, Spanoulis, who had 22 points. And Fran, you were saying coming into that game that he's not a very good shooter. Now, he had a great shooting game against the U.S., but even at that,
those who follow international basketball know that Spanoulis' strength is his ability to get to the rim. You see the foul right there
on Spanoulis.
But Spanoulis, as you remember, banked the 3 in and then made 6 free throws.
Absolutely.
When Team USA defenders fouled him
on 3-point attempts.
But you love his toughness and you love his quickness. The question with Spanoulis is he's really not a pure playmaker. Assist-turnover ratio not very good in this tournament.
You just saw number 12, Satsaris, in the lineup for Greece. We haven't seen the big man yet, who has had a terrific tournament and was outstanding against the United States. Shortsianitis. And a 3-point hit puts Spain up by 4.
That's what we're talking about. Calderon and Navarro, Fernandez off the bench. They're going to have to be big offensively without Gasol today, and they're all capable of getting you points.
Calderon has 5 points early on.
Marc Gasol is turning out to be a good defender for his size in this tournament. You see, he did a nice job inside. Marc Gasol played the last 2 years at Barcelona. This year he'll play at Girona, where he'll get a lot of playing time, and he'll be in next year's NBA draft.
And this is an outstanding beginning by Spain, and a 3-pointer for Navarro puts Spain up by 7.
Keep this in mind, Jim. Even though we've seen being in the NBA doesn't necessarily matter, this is an NBA-level backcourt. Calderon with the Raptors, Navarro certainly capable of playing in the league.
And the tip won't go, but Greece able to come out with the offensive rebound. And Spanoulis gets him into their half-court set. High screen and roll.
That's Spanoulis' game right there.
And Spain did a better job defending there than the U.S. did in the semifinals. Spain has hit 6 out of 10 to start out. Greece 4 of 14.
Well, Spain has given Greece a lot of different looks.
Shortsianitis coming in.
Well, this guy, how about this? 18 for 20 from the field in this tournament. He had his way with Team USA inside. And I mentioned to you, Jim, the last player chosen by Panathinaikos for this team. He can really score, but he's a young, immature player. Doesn't always conform to what the coach wants, but kind of the X factor in this tournament.
Well, and as you say, that 18 for 20, a truly remarkable field goal percentage.
But he's only averaging about 1 rebounds every 9 minutes in this tournament, and that's
for his size,
woeful, woeful.
But Greece gets the block here, so it's out of bounds to Spain. Diamantidis making the defensive play.
You're going to see this a lot. Look at the long arms. You talk about octopus man, and that's why he's considered one of, if not the best defender in the Euro League.
Remember, in the semifinal game, Greece was down at the quarter to the U.S., and it was their strong play in the second and third quarters which won that game for them.
How about Greece scoring on the first 10 possessions of the third quarter against Team USA?
And hit 14 out of 18 in that quarter. The U.S. was up 12 at about the 7-minute mark for the half.
Little bit of zone defense right now. Matchup zone.
Running out of time on the shot clock. And a foul on Diamantidis. That would be his second.
And that's where Diamantidis' aggressiveness got him in trouble. The head fake got him in the air because he's such an active defender. Now, depth, Jim, for Greece is always a positive. In the game versus Team USA, they had 8 players who scored 8 points or more. And 7 different players in the 8 games for them have led them in scoring.
Diamantidis going out for Greece as Hatzivridis comes back on.
Well, you couldn't have drawn up a better opening quarter for Pepo Hernandez's club than this one.
So, I mean, now they get their best defender, Greece's best defender on the bench.
Maybe the MVP of that team.
And they try to dump in. Ooh, quick feet. Good
effort. Shortsianitis, we talked about the immaturity. And some of it is age, and some of it is just some things off the court that he needs to take care of. But talk about the mobility and quickness. You saw it right there.
And that's Marc Gasol, who was working in the post for Spain. And Shortsianitis did a great job of circling the post and knocking that ball out. 14 to shoot. Garbiosa. Oh, that's not a walk? They didn't hit the rim, right?
Well, you know, in FIBA play, if it's the college rule, that becomes an attempt. NBA, it's definitely a travel. You can't pass it to yourself, but in FIBA play, that's considered a shot.
Good. Up. And on the drive to the hoop, the foul is on Gasol.
And Papaloukas, we've seen that ability to get to the rim. And looks like a pretty good defensive play, but Papaloukas. Now, Papaloukas plays for CSKA Moscow, the EuroLeague champions, and he comes off the bench both for the national team and CSKA. This is the MVP of the EuroLeague. And for those of you who don't know what the EuroLeague is, these teams play in their leagues in Greece, Italy, Spain, France, but the best teams in Europe play in one league as well. It would be like Duke playing in the ACC, but also playing in a league with the likes of Kentucky and Connecticut, UCLA, and the others. So
that's a pretty good conference that you're talking about.
Absolutely. The best of the best in Europe, which we've seen is a pretty good level.
But Spain, surprisingly, up by 6, making an 8-point lead.
Well, you got to like Navarro. Remember, he can put points on the board. He hasn't had to do it because of the presence of Paul Gasol throughout this tournament.
No shot clock involved for Greece. Spain could take a foul here, and Shortsianitis is 19 for 21 for the tournament.
Well, you could have made that layup off the dish from Papaloukas, Jim.
I'm not so. The quarter comes to an end. And Powell looking good.
So it's I before E except after C. It's a rule, no exceptions.
What about beige?
Okay, 1 exception.
Or caffeine?
2.
Weird, efficient, neither. Feisty?
Rottweiler.
Rottweiler.
Road, the all-new Santa Fe from Hyundai.
Help is close to home.
When you need a hand with building projects, come to any one of more than 400 Home Hardware Building Center locations. And now, during the Home Hardware Building Center yard sale, get great savings on seasonal clearance items, plus specially priced products like the TMT Variable Speed Jigsaw or the Random Orbital Action Palm Sander. Shop early during the yard sale.
Help is close to home.
Only at Home Hardware Building Center.
New and text challenge, $2 per message. 16 plus only.
Win this revolutionary PSP. Wireless gaming, amazing graphics, MP3 and video playback. Join the trivia game and compete for this awesome prize. First question. PlayStation is a trademark of A, Apple, or B, Sony. Text your answer, Game A for Apple or Game B for Sony to 65050 and have a shot at this game station plus 4 games. So text Game A or B to 65050.
That is the big pivot for Greece.
Well, you see the monster game against USA, almost said UCLA. Yeah. But, you know, we talk about the class of 2003. He was the 34th pick in that class. Not bad for the Clippers.
Oh, nicely done as Spain goes up by 8, and Navarro has scored 7.
No surprise, Jim. He kind of plays the game at a pace offensively that he needs to. He recognizes today he must be more of a threat offensively than he has been.
Trying to set a pick on the left side of the court. Shortsianitis against Marc Gasol. And Spain the steal.
That's something USA did not do at all in that game because they didn't probably know much about Shortsianitis. They never doubled him, and he is not a good passer out of the post. That time Spain with great recognition.
So Greece the ball down 8, remember, against the U.S. And about this juncture, a little later on perhaps in the quarter, they were down 12.
Very balanced Greek team. There's no one go-to guy. Sometimes that's a problem.
And their top defender, Diamantidis, on the bench with 2 fouls. Shortsianitis, he misses one.
Great job again by Marc Gasol. We talk about that 7'1" presence.
And on the pitch out, they get a straightaway look at a 3, and Spain is cooking as Garbajosa drops that one in.
Well, Chris Bosh and Andrea Bargnani are going to love that guy because he not only does a lot of dirty work on the defensive end, but he can stretch a defense.
Spain by 11 without Pau Gasol, and another turnover for Greece.
This is what happens when teams are familiar with each other, Jim. Papaloukas drove to the lane. European basketball is about penetrate and kick. On the kick out, Navarro was in the exact spot Papaloukas was throwing the ball to.
Without Gasol, if this holds, this has to be a huge upset.
Bad windshield replacements could make your windshield leak. Next time, trust the experts at Apple Auto Glass. We guarantee your auto glass to be installed right the first time, professionally and safely.
Apple Auto Glass. I know the place.
You invested in good times with family and friends. You invested in your children's education. You invested in generations to come. And you invested with TD Waterhouse because we know life is an investment with great returns. Whether you do it yourself, want someone to work with you, or have us do it for you, we can help. TD Waterhouse, wealth of experience.
Love your look? Or change your look with LensCrafters 30-day unconditional guarantee and 2,000 styles to choose from. You can wear them or change them till you love them. Guaranteed. LensCrafters.
With an 11-point lead and 8:28 left in the half, Marc Gasol, Pau's brother,
He's a guy that was overweight, and he's really trimmed down his body, Jim. He's 30, 40 pounds lighter than he was about a year ago. Uh-oh.
It's Garbajosa on a three, and the threes just keep on coming.
How about Garbajosa? He's done that's his game. 4 for 6 from 3.
Greece just 1 of 5.
Of course, you can tell Spain knows the Greek strengths, and they've set their defense accordingly.
And it's Gasol ripping it away from Shortsinitis.
Marc Gasol is going to get himself drafted based on this performance in the World Championship.
ESPN full coverage, college football, Florida State and Miami from every angle. Catch the great ACC rivalry, while on ESPN2 have close-ups of legendary Coach Bowden and the quarterbacks and more. ESPNU and ESPN 360 have the Skycam plus commentary from Colin Cowherd. Full Circle, Florida State, Miami, presented by the Dish Network at 8 a.m. East. Make that 8 p.m. Eastern. We're so used to working in the morning in the early hours covering these games.
We're on the 3rd shift.
No one else works the early shift like we do. And the personal foul here against Greece.
Well, Jim, you talk about losing a guy like Paul Gasol, excuse me, who to this point in my mind, as Panathinaikos looking for some answers, is the MVP of this tournament. But we all know as coaches and players that in a one-game situation, emotion takes over.
Well, the threes have been dropping, but not this time. So with 7.5 left in the half, Greece finding itself down 14 to a short-handed Spain team playing without their superstar, and Spanoulis on the miss.
We talked about the great balance of Greece offensively, but when you have balance, sometimes it means you don't have the one go-to guy like a Gasol or Nowitzki.
Navarro.
How about that? How about that? The Wizards' property, but he makes too much money right now for Barcelona.
He's got 9 points as Spain has gone up by 16. This is a real shock.
His buyout is about $2.5 million a year. He can't afford to buy himself out of that. Otherwise, he'd be in the NBA.
That's a blocking foul. Nikutis will be on the line. Gasol picking up the personal foul.
One of the issues for Marc Gasol is because he hasn't seen a lot of daylight in this tournament, fatigue could be a factor. Only averaging about 12 minutes a game. He's going to be asked to do more today.
But not for a while as he goes out with his 2nd foul. You know, the good thing, I think, Fran, what we've seen with Coach Hernandez of Spain is that he's using everybody. In other words, he's not just going with some guys that maybe have played a lot of minutes in the tournament and then have to go to people in the second half. He wants them to get a taste of it, a flavor of it in the first half.
Jim, it's a great point. Remember, these 4 teams that got to the semifinals, Argentina, USA, Spain, and Greece, they somewhat dominated their groups, so they were able to play a lot of their players throughout the tournament. So that really shouldn't be a factor because everybody has gotten time on the court throughout the tournament.
Nikutis goes 1 for 2. So Greece now within 15. And Kakiosis back on for Greece.
Quiet Kakiosis. He had 15 against Team USA.
And Spanoulis, who had 22 against USA. Quiet so far in this game. And on the rebound, a foul called on Spain. The personal foul, Carlos Jimenez. That's the first foul on him.
Jimenez, the captain of this team, the Shane Battier, if you will, of this Spanish team. He's been with Estudiantes his whole career.
This is the gold medal game of the FIBA World Championship, Spain and Greece. With Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. And Spain, despite playing without their superstar Pau Gasol, has a commanding lead in this first half.
There's one dilemma for Spain is they're not getting a lot of inside scoring, so the jumpers have to keep going.
Finally, Greece gets the hit from 3.
Well,
Papaloukas,
one of the great playmakers in Europe, but also the ability to knock down shots. How about 12 assists against Team USA?
Now what'll be interesting as Jimenez works inside but can't get the shot down is how will Spain react when Greece makes a run when they don't have their star to go to. One thing's for sure, if that's any indication, they're going to continue to hustle and scrap.
Well, we mentioned the jump shooting. The jump shooting's got to continue to go because this is now a perimeter-oriented attack.
And it's an offensive foul. They have called a hook on Navarro.
Well, Navarro got doubled. It was a soft double. And he used that left arm, and he didn't need to do that. He was going to get by Dukutis fairly easily.
So Navarro goes out. 12-point lead for Spain. It was 16. About 5 minutes left in the half. Spanulis with a kick out. Traveling call. Jimenez forcing the turnover.
Good pressure by Jimenez. I mentioned his entire Dantes, but he'll replace Garbajosa this year in Malaga as Garbajosa leaves for the NBA. And he is an effort player.
Now at the 5-minute mark. It's Jimenez. And again, he can't convert.
Kept it alive.
And Garbajosa with another three.
Well, credit Jimenez. He kept that ball alive. He couldn't come down with it, so he batted it out.
Garbajosa has 11 points. He's hit on 3 threes.
Jim, one thing about Spain, they do a tremendous job of closing out the perimeter players.
Spanulis.
That's his game right there.
Spanulis hasn't been heard from yet offensively in this one after dropping the 22-point load on the U.S.
Look at that.
Finally, Jimenez gets one at the rim.
Well, the dribble penetration allowed Jimenez to get the easy basket. Set up by Garbajosa because of his ability to shoot the three. It gave him room to drive.
Biggest lead now for Spain at 17.
How about the emotion that Spain is playing it without Pau Gasol? He may be the MVP of this tournament because they're playing without him.
Partially blocked on the 3 attempt. The follow was also blocked. And it's Jimenez who digs it out.
We talked about the Shane Battier impression. The captain of this team, 30 years old.
3.5 minutes left in the half. Jimenez.
Look at that effort.
Jimenez got 2 in a row right at the rim.
Jimenez is a guy who looks like you play at the local Y with.
And a timeout taken with 3:25 left in the half. Spain on top by 19.
TMG. To stop, go to GameSMS.com. $2 Canadian per message, 16 plus only.
The next generation is here. Be the first to win this Xbox 360 with wireless controllers, revolutionary gameplay, full digital entertainment. Play and win. First question. Xbox is a brand of A Nintendo, B Microsoft. Text box A for Nintendo or box B for Microsoft to 65050 and have a shot at this console plus 5 games. So text box A or B to 65050.
Here comes the Marley, short-handed, fires a shot, scores! The point, a quick shot, it went off the post and in, a power play goal, and it's 2. Scores! Oh my stars, what a goal! The cannonball, Jaco, makes it 3-1 Toronto.
The Toronto Marlies, great hockey, great value, great fun. Call 416-597-PUCK or go to TorontoMarlies.com.
What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us.
For Spain, and if you're joining us late, no Pau Gasol. There you see a look at Spain. Spain, by the way, averaged 21.9 in margin of victory, better than the U.S. in this tournament.
Well, this is sports psychology 101 right now. Star player goes down, his team rises its level, and maybe a little bit of complacency from Greece coming into this game.
Thinking without Powell, they were going to have it easy. Spanoulis, another miss.
Keep letting him shoot until he makes the first one. Remember this too, Jim, you know, Greece beat USA, so you wonder what kind of psychological toll it took on them, thinking maybe they have an easy path to the gold.
Yeah, and they celebrated after that win against the United States. Spanoulis gets bumped, so 2 shots coming for Spanoulis.
Spanoulis, a tough guy, very good at getting to the lane. Look how he initiates the contact. If you're a young player at home, the offensive player wants to be able to get his body into the defender. Ginobili is great at that. It's funny, young American players don't do that well. They shy away from contact and shoot bad shots.
Bernie Rodriguez called for the fouls for Spain, his first. Spanoulis gets on the board. It was his 6 free throws, fouled on 3-point attempts that Fran alluded to, that I think really got Greece going against the U.S. in the first half in the semifinals.
So that's Spanoulis' 41st free throw in the tournament. That tells you the type of aggressive player he is.
And he's shooting better than 87% from the line. Spain, very patient. Draw and kick out. They have coughed it up. Here comes Greece. And so Greece has put 4 in a row up there.
Rudy Fernandez, not a playmaker, got caught in the air. And again, these teams know each other. They know their tendencies.
That was Papaloukas scoring.
This is a good lesson for people who follow NBA basketball, because without the superstar Gasol, you got a bunch of guys that are playing their hearts out, that are good players that no one's ever heard of.
And they come away with it.
Yep.
And against the shot clock buzzer, the shot comes too late.
All of a sudden, we have a lot of people in the media in America that have become international experts overnight, but they have no idea how good the level of play has gotten in Europe.
Remember, Greece is the European champion. And Spain came in rated 5th in the world. The United States was ranked number 1 coming into the tournament before being upset by Greece. That was a Greece team that was ranked 8th coming into the tournament. That's what I find hard to believe. Well, I don't know how they do that with FIBA. I don't know what their rules are with their rankings.
Sure, you get points for success in various tournaments, but remember, it's over a period of time where teams change their personnel.
With 2 on the shot clock, the follow is good and a foul. So Spain missed on the 3, but they've got a shot at a 3-point play.
It's been 3-point shooting, and then it's been effort inside by the likes of Marc Gasol, Jimenez, and now Felipe Reyes.
Shortsiadis returns for Greece. That foul was on Dimos Dikouris. That is his 2nd.
Spain, number 13,
and Marc Gasol coming back for Spain.
Spain has been absolutely outstanding on the defensive end today. The defensive pressure, the double teaming in the post, the mixing of defenses.
How about Felipe Reyes? He has scored 8 points already. His tournament high coming in was 5. And Reyes is 7 of 8 in the tournament from the line.
And this is only his 4th game, Jim, because he missed basically the preliminary round with an injury.
So on the free throw, he didn't get it, but gets his own rebound.
That's a breakdown.
Instead of a 3-point play, it's a 4-point play.
Sometimes the player that shoots the ball knows where it's going to be missed before everybody else on the floor.
Reyes with 10 points in the half.
Not the same Greece intensity and execution we saw versus Team USA.
Offensive foul on the big man.
Here's an example of what we talked about. Off of the performance against USA, you have Shortsiadis already an all-star in the NBA. He's got a lot of work to do on his game. You saw him out of control that time.
And now Spain, having equaled its largest lead, Shortsiadis going out. Spain in possession to go up 21 or more.
One thing we will do at Team USA, will do a much better job getting ready for the Olympics of knowing the players internationally that are not in the NBA.
Spinula's picking up the foul.
We talked about his aggressiveness time and time again in this tournament. He has committed fouls 30, 35 feet away from the basket unnecessarily.
That's his second in this game, and Spain gets to the free throw line in the person of Rudy Fernandez, who has yet to score today. That's Carlos Cabezas, excuse me, and the free throw puts Spain up by 20, and that's the biggest lead.
This is a relatively young team. Unlike Argentina, this Spain team is about 2 years younger.
A long three goes down for Greece. That's pretty much all they got left right now. Fotes is connecting.
Fotes is the second leading scorer, has been quiet today.
5 points for him. And now Spain taking it down. The shot clock is at 10, around a 4-second differential.
I'd be shocked if they shoot it under 5. There you go.
Oh, a big three-point hit.
Greece won't get an opportunity. Great.
Them up by 20, and they at the half. I'll tell you what, we are stunned. It's Spain by 20.
We're proud to salute the cable, satellite, and wireless providers that carry Raptors NBA TV to viewers across Canada. Coast to coast on cable, satellite, and wireless, Raptors NBA TV. This summer, the NBA Cares Tour is on the road to raise awareness and funds for the Children's Miracle Network. The tour will be stopping at select Walmart locations across Canada, so come out and do your part. By simply shooting baskets, you can help us raise funds that will support children's hospitals across Canada. There's lots to do for the whole family, and it's all free. The NBA Cares Tour in support of the Children's Miracle Network, only at Walmart. Brought to you by Juicy Fruit, Speed Stick, Gatorade, Spalding, and NBA Elevation. Log on to nba.com/Canada for an event near you.
Ever lose your place? Can't see where you've painted? With white ceilings, you know it happens. But you can beat the white ceiling blues with Ceiling Perfect by Beauty Tone Paints, only at Home Hardware. Ceiling Perfect goes on with a hint of blue, but dries to a beautiful white matte finish, so you can always see where you've painted with no missed spots. For perfect ceilings, use Ceiling Perfect by Beauty Tone, only $24.97, only at Home Hardware and Home Building Center. Health is close to home.
You are not thinking of driving, are you, my friend? Come now, Stuart. Reconsider. You're in no condition. Ring for a taxi. I'm telling you. Don't be a fool. I'm begging you. Trust me. You are high. Way too high.
Pistons need a 3, and they have just under 3 seconds to do it. Here's Chauncey Phillips. Here it is. He's got it. He's got it. Amazing.
ESPN2's presentation of USA Basketball. Brought to you by State Farm. Great service, great rates. You can get it all from State Farm. And Sprite with Lyman, proud sponsor of the NBA. Obey.
In the first 20 minutes of the gold medal game, Spain has given the world a lesson in true grit. That score, by the way, is reversed. It's Spain on top, 43-23. It's been a shocker.
Well, Panathinaikos, the coach of Spain would have, Greece would have loved to have that score be right, but it's been Juan Carlos Navarro, then outstanding defense. Marc Gasol inside. Great hustle and ball movement today by Spain. Garbajosa has picked up the load, knocking down some threes. Paul Gasol's got to love it. The emotional leader of this team has been Gasol, but how about Garbajosa knocking down some threes?
And he leads them in scoring with 11. Let's check out the Chevrolet game track. Spain 17 out of 31 from the field. Greece just 8 of 26. And plus, Greece has turned it over 10 times, and of the 17 field goals, Spain has 10 assists.
Well, that's what you look at. You see only 4 assists for Greece, a team that really moves the ball well. Outstanding Spanish defense has been the key for me, and then the ability to knock down the threes, just a bonus, Jim.
Time for our Gatorade Cooler Talk here at halftime, and we turn to Fran's all-tournament team.
Well, there's so many great players in this tournament, but this is what I went with. Of course, Team USA, Carmelo Anthony was brilliant. Diamantidis, he's been in foul trouble for Greece, and thus the lack of defensive intensity. Yao Ming, I thought, was a great surprise, Jim. Coming back after the broken foot in April, he showed that even though he's not at 100% speed, that he was dominant. Dirk Nowitzki as well. You know, Greece has 3 or 4 guys that could be on that team. Certainly Wade and James for Team USA. Guys like Fadi El Khatib from Lebanon, all over this tournament. There have been some great players. Carlos Arroyo and others. Been a fun tournament. Fun to watch these players that in many cases nobody's ever heard of.
Greece having a tough time getting traction in this first half.
Help is close to home.
When you need a hand with building projects, come to any one of more than 400 Home Hardware Building Center locations. And now, during the Home Hardware Building Center yard sale, get great savings on seasonal clearance items, plus specially priced products like the TMT Variable Speed Jigsaw or the Random Orbital Action Palm Sander. Shop early during the yard sale.
Help is close to home.
Only at Home Hardware Building Center.
So it's I before E except after C. It's a rule, no exceptions.
What about beige?
Okay, 1 exception.
Or caffeine?
2.
Weird, efficient, neither. Feisty?
Rottweiler.
Rottweiler.
Who says you never drive off-road? The all-new Santa Fe from Hyundai.
New and text challenge, $2 per message, 16 plus only. Win this revolutionary PSP, wireless gaming, amazing graphics, MP3 and video playback. Join the trivia game and compete for this awesome prize. First question, PlayStation is a trademark of A, Apple, or B, Sony. Text your answer, Game A for Apple or Game B for Sony to 65050 and have a shot at this game station plus 4 games. So text Game A or B to 65050.
Welcome to the Sports Center Update. I'm John Butchergrass. It was the opening weekend of college football, and there was no shortage of excitement on the first weekend in September. We start with Charlie Weiss and his Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Tough road game against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech led 7-0. Reggie Ball hits Kelvin Johnson for the touchdown. Now 10-0 Tech, and the Irish finally get on the board. Late in the first half, Brady Quinn, the touchdown, 10-7. Third quarter, Irish still down by 3, Darius Walker breaks the plane and gives Notre Dame their first lead, and that's how the score would end, 14-10. Number 1, Ohio State. Jim Tressel giving his quarterback, Troy Smith, some last-minute instructions. Smith sells the play-action fake and finds Ted Ginn Jr. for the score, 58 yards. No problems for number 1, Ohio State. They beat Northern Illinois 35-12. Colt McCoy making his first start at quarterback for the defending national champions, Texas Longhorns. McCoy shovel pass to Selvin Young. 28-0 Texas, now 28-7. McCoy to Limas Swede. Swede breaks a couple of tackles, outruns the final defender, and Texas wins easily. Baseball, Barry Bonds. Struggling this year against left-handed pitching, but not on Saturday. Career homer 728. Bonds is 28 homers away from becoming baseball's all-time home run king. 28 more for Barry Bonds. Giants win. They're playing good baseball. You can watch ESPN Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN2. It's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in Detroit to face the first-place Detroit Tigers. Again, 8 Eastern, ESPN2, the hunt for October. That will do it for this Sports Center Update. I'm John Butchergrass. We now send you back to the FIBA World Basketball Championship.
ESPN2's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by McDonald's and Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you?
In the gold medal game, Spain liking this. They're up 20 at the half. Today's McDonald's enduring moment is the difference that players are making. Many NBA players showed they care this offseason by participating in the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program. It's to teach the message of friendship, healthy living, education, and grassroots basketball development. 76ers Samuel Dalembert and Pat Garrity of the Magic helped out in Asia, while Magic guard Carlos Arroyo was a counselor in his native Puerto Rico. Atlanta Hawks center Zaza Pachulia shared his basketball knowledge in Europe. And the Big Z Cavaliers center Zydrunas Ilgauskas returned to his home of Lithuania to help educate children. For Spain, no problem. They've got a 20-point lead on Greece at the half.
ESPN2's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by Nike Air, more world, and Chevrolet, America's brand. Chevy, an American revolution.
Here comes the Marley, short-handed, fires a shot, scores! The point, a quick shot, it went off the post and in, a power play goal, and it's 2. Makes it 3-1 Toronto.
The Toronto Marlies. Great hockey, great value, great fun. Call 416-597-PUCK or go to TorontoMarlies.com.
Bad windshield replacements could make your windshield leak. Next time, trust the experts at Apple Auto Glass. We guarantee your auto glass to be installed right the first time, professionally and safely.
Apple Auto Glass.
I know the place. You invested in good times with family and friends. You invested in your children's education. You invested in generations to come. And you invested with TD Waterhouse because we know life is an investment with great returns. Whether you do it yourself, want someone to work with you, or have us do it for you, we can help. TD Waterhouse, wealth of experience.
It's the Rona Expert's Choice Savings Event. September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd only. Get 15 to 25% off on selected products. And with the purchase of any Rona faucet, you'll receive a $10 gift card. For expert advice and more, count on Rona, the how-to people.
Just a man blocking that. Great contested shot.
So a 43-23 lead for Spain at the half. They're halfway to the gold for the first time in their history. And prior to this, their highest finish was a 4th place finish in 1982. And Garbajosa with 11, Reyes with 10. That's a tournament high for Reyes. Navarro with 9. And Greece, as we see their scoring, of course, way down. But Fran, as you pointed out, Greece gets it going by forcing turnovers. And Diamantidis, who leads the tournament in steals, was in foul trouble and didn't play very much.
He was in foul trouble. Greece, number 2 in this tournament in steals, 11 a game. They only have 1 today. Excellent playmaking ability by the Spanish backcourt. And then 21 points inside. When I say inside, Garbajosa, an inside player, but knocking down those threes. But Reyes and Garbajosa making up offensively for the loss of Pau Gasol. And everybody making it up defensively as the big guy sits on the bench.
Oh, this would be a remarkable finish for Spain if they can win this gold medal playing without Pau Gasol.
You wonder if Greece's gold medal game was Friday versus Team USA.
That's a good point. Here goes Diamantidis.
There you go. That's what they were missing once he picked up that second foul. You just now, if you want to probably get it back to 10 by the end of the 3rd quarter, you'd be happy with that if you're Giannakis.
That was a turnover. So Greece will be in possession.
Jim, I can tell you, it's so hard, and it sounds crazy, so hard to have a 20-point lead sometimes, especially with this much time.
And the other thing, from a Spanish standpoint, the difficulty is maintaining that intensity.
No question.
Because they have to play almost a perfect game for who they have left without Pau Gasol.
Defensively in the first half, they almost did.
The foul called here will get Greece to the free throw line.
So many emotions at play, really. You got Spain playing without its best player, playing at a high level emotionally in the first half. Greece coming off the big win over USA. Now it's flipped around. Spain has the big lead. Greece has to play with some desperation.
Marc Gasol replacing Reyes, who picked up his 3rd foul. Papaloukas rattles it out. He had 6 points in the first half and led Greece in scoring with 6.
And he is also, as we mentioned, he is a playmaker first. 12 assists against Team USA. He's been bottled up today.
So Spain yet to score. We haven't quite played a minute in the 3rd quarter.
Navarro came out red hot in the first half. Let's see if he can get it going again.
Here he goes. 10 on the shot clock. Garbajosa.
That time a little too deep.
Diamantidis getting inside.
Got a mismatch. Gasol on Diamantidis. He recognizes it.
And they get the man at the rim, but Garbajosa recovered defensively, and now a foul on Spain.
Papaloukas got poked in the eye, but you saw Diamantidis recognizing the mismatch. He draws 2 defenders. There's the back cut by Papaloukas. Diamantidis so important to this Greek team.
That foul was on Calderon. Calderon with his first.
Diamantidis plays at Panathinaikos in the Greek League. The Euro League Championship next year will be in Athens. So it's going to be very important for Panathinaikos to try to get there. Greek fans are unbelievable, Jim.
Spanoulis exchanges with Foutsis.
There's a zone now, trying to take Greece out of its early rhythm.
Foutsis at the rim, and on the tip, Diamantidis.
Well, you can already see what he means to this Greek team in the first 2 minutes of this third quarter.
He has scored their first 4 points to get them within 16.
Barbosa has shot 2 flat shots because he's been about 2 feet outside his range. And by the way, that's NBA range.
Yep.
You better make that shot.
Foutsis. But Spain doing a good job clearing the zone, doing a good job on their defensive backboard. Still, they've yet to score. Gasol gives them their first 2.
Wanted the goaltending. Calderon got to the rim, but Gasol continues to give Hernandez a spark off the bench for Spain.
That's his first points, but he's been a factor defensively and rebounding. And a steal by Jimenez. Calderon lays it in. It's back to a 20-point lead.
Well, we talked about the backcourt of Spain. They have been outstanding today, and you see Calderon takes it right at Papaloukas. Good coaching maneuver by switching to the zone. It's thrown Greece out of its early rhythm.
And this is something they did in the early part of the game, almost a double dribble. A 3-ball goes down.
Off the pass from the playmaker, Papaloukas. Good recognition.
Kakiousis on the 3. That's his second. Of course, Greece hit a number of 3s against the United States in the semifinal game. And contact charge. No call. No call either way. And now as Gasol took a swing at the ball, let's see what the call is.
Well, Terry Moore is on it.
It's Greece apparently.
Diamantidis, you don't want him to pick up his third if you're Giannakis. There's a foul over the back.
And the foul was not on Gasol. The foul was on Diamantidis, and that's his third. It would have been the third on Marc Gasol. Papadopoulos back in. There you see Diamantidis making his claim, saying, look, the elbows were up, and they weren't mine.
Well, and now Giannakis is going to leave Diamantidis in, even with that third foul, Jim, because of how important he is to this team. Foul trouble right now, not an issue.
And this is the gold medal game, so, you know, when you're down 17.
That's right. You throw caution to the wind.
Absolutely. You've got to use all at your disposal to get back in this.
You see that zone? Something I want to get into about Team USA when we get a chance, about the variety of defenses we've seen.
Running out of time on the shot clock.
Spanoulis 0 for 3 today from behind the arc after that great performance against USA.
Mike Krzyzewski is saying, where was that shooting performance in the semifinals?
Not his game.
We could have used him shooting that way on that one. So Spain up by as many as 20. And now with the 17-point lead, Papaloukas on the miss. Gasol covers up the rebound.
Now Papaloukas, like Spanoulis, that's not his strength. He's more of an attack the basket, make plays for others kind of guy.
That was Gabriosa with that rebound, and a blocking foul called on Greece with Calderon controlling.
Little bit of frustration now by the Greek players. Papadopoulos He's been no factor inside tonight.
Really hasn't. In fact, it was the early double teaming of the post that took him out of the game, basically.
And that's exactly my point, Jim. Coach K will watch this tape and recognize that Team USA will have to be a little bit more sophisticated defensively the next time they get together and play in a tournament like this. You just can't play defense, try to steal it,
and a little more familiar with the strengths of the opposition.
No question about it.
Well, this game has been stuck on this 47-30 score for a while. And, of course, the longer that remains, that favors Spain.
That's right.
8 to shoot. It's a 3.
Hey, they're going to let him keep shooting it. 0 for 4 now.
And with 4.5 minutes left in the third, Spain moving closer to a shocking upset.
Good rhythm in their offense now by Spain. They've taken time off the clock. Sure, that's not the shot they wanted.
But they end up with it, and they end up with a foul on Greece. Personal foul on Kakiosis.
TMG. To stop, go to GameSMS.com. $2 Canadian per message, 16 plus only.
The next generation is here. Be the first to win this Xbox 360 with wireless controllers, revolutionary gameplay, full digital entertainment. Play and win. First question. Xbox is a brand of A Nintendo, B Microsoft. Text box A for Nintendo or box B for Microsoft to 65050 and have a shot at this console plus 5 games. So text box A or B to 65050.
This summer, the NBA Cares Tour is on the road to raise awareness and funds for the Children's Miracle Network. The tour will be stopping at select Walmart locations across Canada, so come out and do your part. By simply shooting baskets, you can help us raise funds that will support children's hospitals across Canada. There's lots to do for the whole family, and it's all free. The NBA Cares Tour in support of the Children's Miracle Network, only at Walmart. Brought to you by Juicy Fruit, Speed Stick, Gatorade, Spalding, and NBA Elevation. Log on to nba.com/Canada for an event near you.
The game. Section 1, Rule number 11. Basket interference. A player shall not touch the ball when it is above the basket ring and within the imaginary cylinder. If a defensive player touches the ball while it is in the imaginary cylinder, this is basket interference. A penalty. The basket is counted.
Got a penalty.
Count the basket.
Count the basket. You got it. Score the basket.
Spain continues to be in command here in the third with 4:13 left.
There you take a look at, Jim, of some of the guys that sort of the best international players in this tournament that are not in the NBA. Of course, Larry Ayuso for Puerto Rico had a monster preliminary round, but most of these guys, Scola, Papaloukas, Diamantidis, Navarro, they can all play in the league, Jim, but for one reason or another, usually with the fact that they make too much money or their buyout is too high from their European club is why you don't see them in the NBA, but we've seen they're all NBA level talents.
So Spain coming in on top by 17 and playing without Pau Gasol, but not having a problem in that regard.
Sergio Rodriguez in for the first time today.
Garbajosa gets his own rebound. And it all turns out well on a three-point hit by Navarro.
The best time to get an open three often is off an offensive rebound when the defense is scrambled. Garbajosa did a great job of finding Navarro.
It was a 20-point lead at the half, and it's still a 20-point lead for Spain.
Good help defense that time.
And they closed it down on Fotis.
Everybody talks about the international game. Hey, this is good Bob Knight help side defense. It's so funny, Jim. We talked about Dr. Jack Ramsey, Dean Smith, UB Brown. Everybody's talking about how we need to play the international game. The international game is the way basketball has been played in America for a long time.
Yep.
And we need to get back to that. Defense, ball movement.
And finally, Greece coming up with a steal and getting something in transition.
Remember, they scored 44 points in 9 minutes versus Team USA.
That was an afterthought by Diamantidis, and then he knocks it away out of bounds. So even though he's got 3 fouls, Diamantidis still very aggressive out there.
He only plays one way. Outstanding defender, but, you know, again, we talked about Greece's ability to steal the ball. That's not going to happen against a veteran backcourt like this backcourt.
Navarro around a Gasol pick. Now Marc Gasol. And a reach in on Diamantidis. That's his fourth.
That's big. Diamantidis looking to make something happen with those octopus arms. And he gets called for the fourth. And now Panagiotis Giannakis has a tough decision to make.
Well, he's going to take him out with 2:52 left in the third. Remember, he scored the first 2 field goals for Greece in the second half.
How about Marc Gasol and the job he's done? You don't think he's got a proud brother right now? Pick and roll.
Slips a pick, sends it out to Fernandez. Not there on the 3.
And they get a new shot clock, and they understand time and score, so they kick it out. Marc Gasol did a great job of not traveling right there. Look at that kick out.
Jimenez.
Still a 20-point lead, Jim.
Garbioso picks up the foul up court.
Well, we've been calling that the good, smart international foul for 2 weeks. Stops the break.
50-30 Spain, 2:22 for the third. Spain with Bernie Rodriguez coming back.
How about Sergio Rodriguez? Did he play in the first half?
I don't
remember.
He did.
No, but he's coming off that 14 points in 15 minutes versus Argentina. So Pepe Hernandez, a lot of confidence in him, and the Portland Trailblazers have got to like the way he's played.
Another high screen and roll.
Good defense, solid pressure.
They send a posse after Shortsianitis.
Yep.
But they still got an open lane to the hoop.
Good chess match basketball right there. The double team forced the kick out. Shortsianitis made the right play, ball reversal, and then Papaloukas.
And now with 10 on the shot clock.
Nice roll.
It's out of bounds to Greece. Don't forget this afternoon on ESPN2 at 4:30 Eastern. It's Game 3 of the WNBA Finals presented by Vantage, the Detroit Shock at the Sacramento Monarchs. Well, time's a wasting for Greece.
I'll tell you what, Spanish defense has been outstanding on Shortsianitis all night.
There he rolls through again, and the extra help forces a turnover.
And that's where Team USA will go to school next time. There was no double team of anybody in the post that I remember throughout this tournament. So, like you said, Jim, Team USA will know these players much better.
And I'm wondering, Fran, if it would have been the same game plan with Pau Gasol, or would they have just played him straight up if they had him?
I think they would have given Pau some help. You know, I think they would have given him some help. He may have played straight up at times, but again, a good coach changes his not only defenses, but his looks within that defense. You know, in the NBA some nights, Jim, they change pick and roll defense every quarter.
Oh, sure.
Depending on who's involved in the screen and the roll.
They're trapping it here, double teaming
we've
Navarro, and the ball out of bounds to Spain.
We've seen some of the inexperience of Shortsianitis right there.
What's he thinking of? They call the foul on Shortsianitis. So that's 2 players for Greece that have been taken out because of the Spanish election to double team the post. Papadopoulos and Shortsianitis.
Shortsianitis, I got a chance to see him at the Reebok Euro camp this summer. Not play, but he attended the camp, and he is a big dude in person. Pete Philo, the Minnesota Timberwolves Super International scout, runs that camp. See some of the best European players, Jim, before they get to the level of the NBA draft.
12 points in this game for Navarro. He's on the line for the first time. That's a rare miss for him. 88% in the tournament.
Property of the Washington Wizards. You know what happens, Jim, in Europe? Sometimes the agents actually play double agent with the teams. And,
007?
Yeah, and some of these guys have ridiculous buyouts because the agents are taken care of by the clubs.
Fotzis with 7.
Fotzis has not had a big impact on this game, but I've really liked him throughout the tournament. Very versatile inside-out player.
Oh, that's huge. Garbajosa nails his 4th three-pointer.
He's been outstanding from deep. They haven't got a lot of inside scoring from him, but that's not his game. He's made up for the loss of Gasol.
Spain 10 minutes away from the gold.
Ever lose your place? Can't see where you've painted? With white ceilings, you know it happens. But you can beat the white ceiling blues with Ceiling Perfect by Beauty Tone Paints, only at Home Hardware. Ceiling Perfect goes on with a hint of blue, but dries to a beautiful white matte finish, so you can always see where you've painted with no missed spots. For perfect ceilings, use Ceiling Perfect by Beauty Tone, only $24.97, only at Home Hardware and Home Building Center. Health is close to home.
I like to think of myself as a safe mom. And that's why I choose Apple Auto Glass for my windshield repairs. Because it's nice to know that Apple Auto Glass cares about our safety as much as I do.
Apple Auto Glass.
Raptors NBA TV is all day, all night, all ball. And this season you can see more than 150 NBA games, and now introducing Raptors NBA TV HD. Call your television service provider to order.
Coach Giannakis exhorting his Greece team down 20 going to the 4th quarter.
Well, one of the great players in Greek basketball not happy. Looks like his team played their gold medal game on Friday versus Team USA.
Greece has not scored more than 12 points in any quarter in this game. Now they've got to make up 20 in 10 minutes.
And they've been able to do that. We've seen that in the tournament, but I don't see that it can happen the way Spain has defended today. Jim, they scored 87 points in the last 3 quarters versus Team USA on Friday.
And Spain maintained its 20-point halftime lead in the 3rd when both teams scored 11.
There's Spanish chocolate. Sergio Rodriguez, first-round pick of the Phoenix Suns, traded to the Blazers on draft night. Only 20 years old and models his game after Steve Nash.
They can't get over that 20-point lead. Not that they would need to, for reasons we've already mentioned.
Just very sound. Look at the effort and the intelligence. Play the passing lanes, double team the post.
Take a look at the Nike storyline. Spain outscoring Greece in the 2nd quarter, 25-11.
I told you I worried about the fact that Team USA did not know the players in this tournament that are not in the NBA. These teams know each other quite well, Spain and Greece.
And finally, Spanoulis gets to the rim to score.
Well, that's his game. Spanoulis is an attack-the-basket player, a combo guard, not really a pure point, not really a 2.
And another one rolls off for Spain.
Diamantidis back now, Jim, with 4 fouls.
And that's a foul on Greece. personal foul called on Dakoutis. I have him with 4.
Watching your lower, there's the right arm. He pushes off. Jimenez, a smart player. I say smart because he not only took the contact, but he went down pretty quickly.
Dakoutis going out. Satsarias comes in to replace him.
Emmys were a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
But these players are, they understand the game. They have high IQs.
You know, the point you were making earlier about the U.S. not being familiar with the non-NBA players, as Garbajosa lines up the 3 and gets his own rebound. Wow. And now the 3 goes down to give Spain its biggest lead. Navarro with his 3rd three-pointer today.
Jim, I really believe the difference in this game is that Navarro came out early, took over offensively, and that really gave Spain confidence. And it certainly is carried over to both ends of the floor.
Back to the point I was making about the U.S. and unfamiliarity with the non-NBA players. All you got to do is look at the game against Greece, and in the preliminary round, the game against Italy. Those were the teams that gave them their best games. Well, one won, but the other one was a competitive game throughout. You can start to say the words, ladies and gentlemen, that Spain is going to be the gold medal winning FIBA world champion.
So it's I before E except after C. It's a rule, no exceptions.
What about beige?
Okay, 1 exception.
Or caffeine?
2.
Weird, efficient, neither. Feisty?
Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. Who says you never drive off-road? The all-new Santa Fe from Hyundai.
Help is close to home.
When you need a hand with building projects, come to any one of more than 400 Home Hardware Building Center locations. And now, during the Home Hardware Building Center yard sale, get great savings on seasonal clearance items, plus specially priced products like the TMT Variable Speed Jigsaw or the Random Orbital Action Palm Sander. Shop early during the yard sale.
Help is close to home.
Only at Home Hardware Building Center.
A 24-point lead for Spain and 7:35 left. Fran, as we look at the best finish for Spain all time in World Championship history, it's hard to talk when your mouth is wide open in awe.
Well, you're right. You know, we've talked throughout this tournament about surprises, but today, Jim, you know, on the other hand, as a coach, these things happen. You know, I don't know if they could win a 7-game series. The way they're playing, they may very well be able to do it with this game versus Greece. But in a 1-game situation, you can play on emotion, but you got to play, you got to execute as well, and Spain has been brilliant.
And, of course, what we are referring to, if you're joining us late, is Pau Gasol is out of this game with a broken foot. He broke his foot late in the game against Argentina in the semifinals.
Well, and I think if there's an MVP to this tournament, it will be Pau Gasol. Now it's about tempo for Spain. You see no break, so Rodriguez pulls it out. This is valuable experience for the young 20-year-old.
I wonder what the record is for the fewest points scored in a gold medal game.
I'm not sure, but I know this. That was a heck of a look by Sergio Rodriguez. Spanish chocolate.
And Bernie Rodriguez on the payoff end. So Spain will be naming its own final score in the gold medal game. And a foul here on Spain. How about your surprises in the tournament other than the gold medal game?
Other than this, well, how about the Magic? They got to love the fact that Darko Milicic, Arroyo, Dwight Howard all played very well throughout this competition. Of course, Yao Ming looks like he's going to be back in form. Shane Battier, Spanoulis minus today, has been solid, the leading scorer. And then the emergence of Africa. Angola and Nigeria advance to the elimination round. The great talent that's coming out of that continent, obviously.
And both of those teams, Angola and Nigeria, giving Germany great games.
Now, Sam Vincent, the former NBA guard, did a great job with Nigeria. He'll join the Dallas Mavericks.
And the United States winning the bronze medal yesterday. Spanoulis, another miss. Navarro with a throw ahead to Jimenez, got tripped up, the ball out of bounds to Greece.
One of the names in Spanish basketball you always talk about, you saw the '82 team. Remember, 1984, they got to the gold medal game of the Olympics versus USA and Bob Knight's club. Michael Jordan, Pat Ewing.
This was before he was Michael Jordan.
He was, he was
Mike simply Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Right, exactly. Before he was Michael. But they were coached by Antonio Diaz Miguel, who's in the Basketball Hall of Fame and really one of the fathers of Spanish basketball.
Vasilopoulos comes in as Coach Giannakis says, this is going to do it for us.
Vasilopoulos, 22 years old, was on a lot of people's draft lists. He gets some valuable experience right now.
But Spain has been up from the start. They have led coast to coast. They were up by 6 at the quarter, 20 at the half, 20 after 3, and now 26 as they force another turnover.
Here's some of the disappointments. Obviously, most people felt that, you know, gold was the standard for USA. They didn't get it done. But here's the big question. Where did Serbia and Montenegro go? Former Yugoslavia, with all that great talent, they have really suffered in recent. Don't play the game like they used to play, in my opinion.
And at the bottom of the list there, Brazil underachieving. If the fans weren't paying attention or watching in the exhibition tour for the United States, they gave the U.S. its best game.
Oh, you're right. You look at Anderson Varejão and Leandro Barbosa. Now, they were in the toughest pool, Pool C, with Greece and Australia. That was a tough pool, but they did not get out of preliminary round play, and thus the disappointment.
You made a good point earlier this morning, in fact, before we came on the air, that when Greece defeated the United States in the semifinals, they were dancing in the streets in Athens.
That's right.
And when the United States won the bronze medal yesterday, most of the people in this country, they didn't even know it.
They didn't even know whether they won or lost. Yep, and that's where I think Jerry Colangelo, Mike Krzyzewski will try to emphasize the importance of the World Championships, because for most of the world, this is actually a more important event than the Olympics. And you see Navarro, who's had an outstanding game, an outstanding tournament. Last year, Spain finished 4th in the European Championships without Paul Gasol. But Juan Carlos Navarro was absolutely outstanding and taking over offensively. And today he's done more of the same.
He's got 3 three-point field goals to his credit, 16 points scored. Jorge Garbajosa has 5 three-pointers and 17 points scored for Greece.
So
4:59 remaining.
They call Navarro La Bamba for obvious reasons. Can shoot that ball from deep. Great, I'll tell you what, great game plan today defensively by Pepu Hernandez, the Spanish coach.
They weren't just glad to be here.
That's exactly right.
And that could have been, you know, that could have been a very easy mental approach after losing their star in the final seconds, really, of the semifinal game with Argentina.
Now, remember, we wondered why Gasol didn't come back in that game until we saw him with the sneaker off on the left foot and realized there was something seriously wrong.
Yeah, they had ice on it, and it sure enough had a broken bone. Greece with 4:20 left as Garbajosa knocks it away. Jimenez to the loose ball.
See, Greece has played every possession of the second half almost like they were trying to get a 10-point play.
And Spain has answered the question on a 3-point field goal. They're up by 28. the question we posed earlier in this half was, could they maintain that intensity that they had in the first half?
You know, and I think they did with their defense, Jim, because you remember that even when they didn't score in the opening minutes of the third quarter, Greece was not able to get any closer, I think, than 16 or 17.
So we're closing in on the 3-minute mark for the gold medal game, and a personal foul here against Greece.
That's the second time today Navarro has used Diamantidis' aggressiveness against him. Diamantidis known as a great defender, and Navarro needed a very little head fake to get Diamantidis in the air.
So Greece will have the silver medal. Both of these teams medaling for the first time in FIBA championship competition. And while we have a moment, Fran, we want to make sure that we thank guys that have been very important to us. David Seisler, our producer, Ed Curran, our director, Mike Proya, our statistician. Earlier on in the tournament, Tim Lindsay was our producer. We also, in a game in Las Vegas in the exhibition swing, Ken Wolf was our producer. Ken Dennis, our director. Thanks to everybody for helping us immensely on our coverage of the FIBA World Championship.
Absolutely. All the guys in the truck and Larry in graphics back there done a great job.
And where Mike Proya is concerned, trying to keep up with FIBA statistics is not a real easy job.
No, that's an over. He's worked overtime.
What a move by Navarro. It's all fun and games now for Spain.
Well, they'll be dancing in the streets of Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, down on the coast at Malaga. Getting ready for the Spanish ACB League, which will start up very soon.
And
there you go.
Now they finally get that wraparound pass through.
Well, Hernandez, I mentioned Steve Nash, but he also, a lot of people in Europe compare him to Jason Williams of the Miami Heat.
Fran, it has been a day for lists where you're concerned as Papaloukas goes out with an injury. How about your best international draft prospect?
A lot of these guys will be in the next couple drafts. Of course, Yi Jin-Lin, we really like. Marco Bellinelli had the great game against USA. Thiago Splitter. Tell you, a guy that I worked with at the Reebok Euro camp, Manas Kalnietis, came out of nowhere for Lithuania. They didn't have a point guard. They threw him into this mix, and he had a good World Championships.
Spain coast to coast on a day when they didn't have their superstar Pau Gasol. Go figure.
That's what's great about basketball. Great team effort by Spain today. How about Garbajosa?
That's sick.
Oh, man. He was not drafted. He's 29 years old. He'll be the oldest NBA rookie this year, likely, going to the Raptors. Chris Bosh, I know, never heard of him until they signed him, and he's got to be happy.
That's 6 hits from 3 and 20 points scored.
I want to tell you, they hired Maurizio Gherardini to be the assistant GM, Jim, and he was the great general manager of Benetton Treviso. Garbajosa played at Benetton before going back to Spain, so you can see the fruits of what Brian Colangelo is building in Toronto.
Timeout taken. It's all over but the shouting, and Spain has won the gold.
TMG. To stop, go to GameSMS.com. $2 Canadian per message, 16 plus only.
The next generation is here. Be the first to win this Xbox 360 with wireless controllers, revolutionary gameplay, full digital entertainment. Play and win. First question. Xbox is a brand of A Nintendo, B Microsoft. Text box A for Nintendo or box B for Microsoft to 65050 and have a shot at this console plus 5 games. So text box A or B to 65050.
Here comes the Marley, short-handed, fires a shot, scores! The point, a quick shot, it went off the post and in, a power play goal, and it's 2 scores! Oh my stars, what a goal! The cannonball, Jaco, makes it 3-1 Toronto. The Toronto Marlies, great hockey, great value, great fun. Call 416-597-PUCK or go to TorontoMarlies.com. Make it fun.
Love your look? Or change your look with LensCrafters 30-day unconditional guarantee and 2,000 styles to choose from. You can wear them or change them till you love them. Guaranteed. LensCrafters.
during the timeout, hugs breaking out on the Spain sideline. Pau Gasol, unavailable today, but who needs you?
That's right. The T-shirt that they wore that said, "We play with Pau."
Yep.
You know, and it's funny, Jim. I coached Spanish players in my college career. They're wonderful guys. They're earnest. They work hard.
You know, Fran, really though, this is the equivalent of, say, the Mavericks having to play a Game 7 of the NBA Finals without Nowitzki, or Miami doing the same without Wade.
And everybody stepping up.
Yeah.
And everybody stepping up, which is what's happened today. Offensively, you know, the job that Reyes did and Marc Gasol. How about Marc Gasol's defense in the first half? Reyes gave him 10 points in that first half. Sergio Hernandez, watch his ball handling now.
Even late they execute. The shot didn't drop, but a play well ran by Spain.
And I keep mentioning the guys like Dr. Jack and Yubi. I was at a clinic in Spain a couple years ago with Yubi, and the Spanish coaches hung on every word. And it was a little hard because they had to translate for Yubi.
Especially with Yubi, yeah.
But they love the involvement of guys that have gone over there in places like Greece and Spain and Italy. You know, Bob McKillop, the coach at Davidson College in North Carolina, is one of the most well-respected coaches among the Europeans. So it's not just the big names. So many people here in America have helped transport the game. And now they play it pretty well, don't they?
They do. And looking at Gasol on the bench there, you know, it comes to mind, NBA training camps are about a month out.
Yes.
You know, he's going to, in all likelihood, miss the early part of the season with the Grizzlies.
Well, you know, and that's tough. And the Grizzlies, you know, Mark Cuban, you know, he's not happy about NBA players being in international competition, but for the most part, Jim, this is about pride. You know, Dirk Nowitzki, you can't imagine Germany without him right now on our team, you know, and so important still that these guys have not given up on their national teams, even though they're making millions of dollars.
Greece with just 47 points scored as Spanoulis remains cold.
Well, David Stern has got to love this. He's the Frankenstein. He's Dr. Frankenstein because 14 years ago with the Dream Team, he created that concept, and so many of these players on the court right now drew the inspiration from that Dream Team. Guys like Michael, Larry, and Magic, Patrick, and the like.
So a personal foul called. Look at that. Look at the tears welling up in the eyes of Pau Gasol.
You don't think this means something to the guys that represent their countries? That picture said it all.
Their first ever gold medal in the FIBA World Championship competition. And for Greece, their first medal. They get the silver, the U.S. having won the bronze yesterday.
You know, because we've dominated basketball for so long, I'd love to see the pride, and we saw it a little bit with this team in representing your country, come back for America.
Let the shouting begin. Spain wins the gold. They took it. They grabbed this game by the throat right from the opening tip.
They really did. They played with great emotion. Their defensive game plan was outstanding. Look at the two brothers, Marc and Pau Gasol. Marc Gasol was the last player chosen by Pepe Hernandez. Remember, they played without Fran Vasquez, the lottery pick of the Magic. So, hey, a world championship, Jim, is a world championship. What a great feeling for these guys.
As well as for Greece, the silver medal winning team, and they put a big one on their belt, having knocked off the U.S. in the semifinals to get to the gold medal game. But congratulations to Spain, the 2006 FIBA World Champion.
windshield replacements could make your windshield leak. Next time, trust the experts at Apple Auto Glass. We guarantee your auto glass to be installed right the first time, professionally and safely.
Apple Auto Glass.
Well, that's the universal language of basketball right there, cutting down the nets.
Well put. Score 70-47, Spain winning the gold. Coming into this, Fran, if somebody would have told me Greece was going to win 70-47, and I would have said, well, yeah, Spain's playing without Pau Gasol, I could understand that.
Yeah, but to have it reversed like this, I agree with you. You know, if it was a 1 or 3 point win, I could have seen Spain pull this off, but to play so brilliantly, Jim, is that's a great feeling.
Wonderful celebration as we check out the Sprite play of the game, and you can pick a number of them for Spain.
Oh, you're right. Juan Carlos Navarro really got cooking early, and that was important. And then don't forget what Garbajosa did from the perimeter. The great ball movement, three-point shooting without Gasol inside was really a big difference in this game on the offensive end for Spain.
Navarro and Garbajosa each had 20. And so the FIBA World Championship final standings through the top 5. Spain the gold, Greece the silver, the U.S. the bronze, and Argentina and France were 4 and 5.
And France with a good comeback, not having Tony Parker in this tournament. You know, disappointing for Team USA, but a learning experience, building blocks on the road to putting together a real national team program, and not just throwing a bunch of superstars together.
And what it does is it leads to more reps by the United States in international play, as they will have to play in Caracas next summer in the Tournament of the Americas.
That's right, and remember, Argentina will have to qualify as well, because only the world champion, and that'll be Spain, gets the automatic bid. That will open up one more spot for a team from the European zone of FIBA to now qualify for the Olympics in 08.
The United States won the gold at the 2003 tournament, as you saw there, and thus that was how they qualified for the 04 Olympics in Athens. Well, the celebration continues on the court at the Saitama Super Arena.
And Jim, I'm gonna miss those early mornings with you. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for the wake-up calls, and we didn't oversleep once in 2 weeks. That's good.
Fran, we're a couple of guys who like basketball, but I never thought in my wildest dreams that we'd be looking at it at 1, 2, and 3 a.m.
And it's not all that bad.
It's pretty good no matter what time of day it's played or where it's played. Again, congratulations to Spain winning the gold at the 2006 FIBA World Championship. Thanks for joining us throughout our coverage, and enjoy the rest of your Labor Day weekend.